Get no peace. Get no peace.
I'm like pathology isn't there, because if that was the case coming up to this last hearing that he just had the other day, he like maybe 2 weeks before then he would have been like, all right, y'all, I got some things to do. You know, I want to be with my family for a little while. I'm going to log off for a little bit. Even up until he was supposed to plea, he was still posting. He doesn't have that understanding or that same value system, like with all the stuff that he used to talk about. He doesn't have that same value system in family and what, you know, trying to keep it together or just preserving and making sure the last moments that you have with them mean anything, like significant.
Yeah.
Because if he did, he would have talked about that. You know, he might do it now. That, I mean, I think people are on the general understanding that, you know, he takes the plea or he goes to trial. But if he takes the plea, he has 60 days before he got to surrender.
I mean, when's the countdown starting? Good grief.
Well,
they already said 60 days before, right?
Well, I don't know. See, I don't know what they talked about when they went into that breakout room. I mean, because not for nothing, David Terrace could have like just completely lied to her and misrepresented some information and convinced her to push it another 60 days.
Yeah. Hey, Tar, you here?
Yeah, Trippy, what's going on?
What's up, bro?
I haven't talked to you in a minute. Peace.
Hey, how you doing, Queen? What's going on?
What's up?
What do you make out of this rambling? Have you heard any of it?
I've been kind of. I seen what you had dropped earlier this morning, so I was playing catch up, and you know, I was just listening from different viewpoints. I don't know, my hypothesis, because me and Shaka was talking earlier through WhatsApp, and like I said, if that prosecutor thing is what people saying, and if he's going to trial, I think, what y'all was saying earlier, it's not polite by itself. I mean, it's a real criminal element to this thing, you know, and it's involving Queen of Four, her son who's gang related, a lot of nasty dealings going behind the scenes. I remember I mean, you know, Bam. I remember her son Campbell was saying that after Sonetta and them went at Bam, and then he switched it around. He said that, I mean, it haven't been substantiated, but he said that Bam paid Saw to stop going at him, and then Saw switched over and started trying to dismantle everything he did to make the case that Hassan was making, you know. You remember, but it didn't change that. But that's the type of person that he is, and I just try to, you know, state the facts and the evidence. We all know what time it is. I spirituality play a part in my assessment, so I can never have these kind of conversations without adding that information. And you know, I know spirits exist. They're invisible. They can be seen if they want. I know that spirit beings control and program human beings to do the things that they do. And so I always have a invisible thing that I always look at. And none of this stuff is coincidence. I said this many times that Polight had an agenda, and that he will be used to unstop the so-called House of Consciousness tug, because it's been stopped up a long time. And some of the water been getting out, but when Polight came, it clogged it all the way up. So now the whole bathroom is flooding, and you know, Sonetta, aka Frankie, the dirty, the Dominican, is help destroying black people and our accomplishments, and that's what people need to understand that. And that's no different if it was somebody else in Sonetta's place. We'll be adding in his race as a part of it. And Sonetta is not African, and he didn't made this statement many times. Matter of fact,
he said it. Right.
And we need to take that seriously, as if that was a white man or another race there saying, "I'm not no goddamn African," but he got Africa behind. He wearing Egyptian hats and pharaohs on his shirt, and he'll tell you every other time, "I don't care about none of this stuff. Is all man-made." Blah 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 blah. So that means he does not have the respect of being partially black and the culture that the people that's on there who are allegedly supposed to take it serious. He's just there to get money. He's just there to scheme, scam, and do all the things that he wants to do and still don't make no change. That's no different than anybody else who talking about, yeah, I meditate and I wear all the crystals and my chakras is lined up.
They debate. You what they was debating today, Tom?
Yeah,
the same old debate.
Right.
Are we African or are we
right?
more?
And that shows you that they're not. On my YouTube, and you know, like I said, I don't go ham. I put the information out there. If you go to my YouTube, what makes us African is, and I mean universally, is our kinky hair. That's what don't matter where you at on the planet Earth. You know, of course, we all been mixed with here and there because of intermingling or forced, you know, sex with other people and all that. But our hair is universally what connects us, and the sun has kinky hair. And I keep telling people that none of our teachers that they're running around listening to knew that. None of them teachers talks about the hair. And if black people, whatever name y'all want to call yourselves, that has woolly hair, if you went to my YouTube and looked at some of the videos I put out there about our hair and how it connected to the sun, and that the sun has kinky woolly hair, and so does Jupiter and Saturn.
I saw that video.
Right, and I got books written too on Lulu.com. If people really would educate themselves, that's what race pride is. Just like any other race. When you look at TV and all those commercials come on, whether it's Maybelline or whatever, you see all these different colored mankind women who don't have kinky hair showing you how beautiful their hair is and curly. That's part of what makes them different. But black people don't know the scientific part of our hair, and thus we just look at our hair as different, but we don't understand the scientific importance of the hair. I don't want to jump away from what we're talking about, but it's just that they're doing the same old topic because they have a person who's not African and he's not trying to do that. Sonetta is a Harlem Negro from the streets. He never went nowhere with that. It's the same thing with anybody. Right,
it's the players, man, saying the same thing over. They were saying that 10 years ago,
and before that, same stuff. The difference before this, Sonetta was just out there on U-125 with white people bending down on their knees, apologize for slavery. That did do nothing except boost his ego and other people who thought that was something. After all of that, Sonetta ain't got no stores on 125. You've been there all that time. You should have had at least 3-4 stores on the same block. But what he did was keep Negroes on the street because that's what his mind was. He by the time he tried to get a little studio or a little building on the corner, it was like too late. The gravy train with Polight had gone. Yeah. You see, but how you start something is how you end. Like they say in a marriage, like if you got a marriage and you cheat on your girl, they say how you get them is how you lose them. He started out stealing and bootlegging and being a criminal and a crook and attracted all of that crap to his platform. Sonetta don't believe in karma and spirituality. That's why he keep doing what he's doing. Same thing with Polight. They don't believe in anything outside of person, places, and things and money. And if you don't have that, they think you not spiritual, and that's how they see things. That's why look at you seen the next debate, right? With Jabari versus Ali Muhammad, right?
I watched 5 minutes of whatever was going on today, and I was like, I can't listen to this crap. They talking about the same thing they was talking about 10 years ago.
Now, it's two things people need to understand and take away from. Number one, Ali Muhammad is one of the original scam gods with the paperwork and the Moor and 5% and the Nation Islam. He was going at Farrakhan. And the other thing is, look at the hat that he's wearing in the debate picture on Sarnetta TV. That's like a Caucasian hat, right? That hat.
Right. Yeah.
That's like one of those gay designer hats he's wearing. So y'all gotta understand, how you saying your name is this, but what you're wearing tells you what it was. Same thing with Polight. As soon as he got enough bread, he started wearing all these designer clothes, Gucci shoes and all that. They ain't nothing dealing with black people. So what you're seeing is these people are so-called African, but they have a conscious, a Caucasian mind state, and people do what they're thinking. So when you seeing these people, analyze what they're wearing first. Look at what they're wearing. That's telling you what they're about. These people are the coons or the house Negroes from the past who done came out in the field and infiltrated, and the people in the field can't tell that the people around them are the house niggas. Yeah. But if you watch them, they do what? Coon stuff. Go to Hollywood, go over here, scam their own people, tell lies and all that. But I digress. I just wanted to say that I'm gonna chill out. Let everybody else talk a little bit.
Hey, but let me ask you, do you like when you listen to this man on this rant, how much have you heard? 5 minutes of it, 2 minutes of it? Stay up here, talk. I want you to hear some of it and just tell me what you think, because you know, that's when you just let it play for a while, you know, that's also another way to try to peep what he's saying. That's why I'm trying not to stop it. In the beginning, I was stopping it because it's crazy, but it's like the first time I played it, the first time I listened to it, I just listened to the whole thing and I was like, I only got 2 things out of it. So here, let me start it.
Okay, go ahead.
20 minutes, I only got 2 things out of it. It's crazy.
Not take the time out to talk about my women and not take the time out to talk about my money. You see? And if they're not doing that, then they bitching, moaning, and groaning about. And you guys are still following him. You can hear everything that a jealous man is thinking about because he talks too much. When a jealous man speaks, if you don't argue with them and you let them keep going, they'll reveal all their real insecurities. They will reveal to you everything that they're really upset about. Picture me having women in my life allowing me to keep talking about a man going live over and over and over again. What kind of woman is in these? Do they have women in their lives? Are they happy with the women that they with? Where's the pride in a man that gets off the internet talking about a man for hours and then do it again the next day, take a day off and then do it again the next day, probably 2-3 times that day, then post about the nigga on the story? You think that woman respect you? Yo, this is why we have to have a conversation tomorrow about the state of the black community in terms of the black man. He's become a jealous bitch. The black man has become a really jealous bitch, and he hides it by acting like he's doing something revolutionary. But the black man all the while is only motivated to tear down other black men that other people like more than them. It's really what's going on. They don't really care about what you think they're talking about. They care about if you listen to them long enough. They have no business talking about cars and money and women. It doesn't fit. It doesn't mix how you mix that with the subject matter. Black men have become jealous bitches. Of course, I'm not talking about all black men. I'm talking about the typical, the average black man. Because these young brothers is looking at these older brothers tripping on the internet. And they're following suit, and the younger generation always going to go harder than the older generation. So now, you got a whole bunch of self-snitching and Negroes going on the internet telling the world what they want to do to a person that they don't like. That's illegal. Where's that been cool? Why doesn't somebody pull these people's shirt and say, yo, bro, first of all, you're denigrating the black race by misrepresenting us looking so damn emotional and undisciplined. Secondly, if something happens to the person you're talking about, you ain't even got a chance in the world to indemnify yourself or to reclaim a noble disposition, because you done surrendered every opportunity you have as far as your freedom's concerned by being overly emotional and undisciplined because your ego
I mean, it sounds like he's just complaining about people saying, yo, you going to jail, homie.
And he's also doing what he's been doing. What he did was he started out so-called black. See, again, he started out
giving up our freedom. He said we giving up our freedom.
No, what it is we dealing with what's called right from wrong. We're the spectators, and then all of us have our own part of what we consider black pride, race pride, and also having morals and right and wrong and standards. He crossed that line once he got away from Sarnetta and went to Cali, and he's upset because we stuck to the script. He the one that switched out. But when he was on the other side of that and pointing out the white man and this person and that person, he was only doing that for clickbait. When we do it, it's for real. So he think that in his mind he done tricked himself. And again, remember, the white man was the devil. Then he starts saying, when he started getting money, well, you know, the white man ain't the devil because I'm not going to teach my people that.
We have to understand what we're trying to accomplish when we say that which we say. When I say stop blaming this white man, our people got to take the time to assimilate what the man that's conveying the message means and represents, because you're not looking at a dude that's out here on the sneaker line just saying I'm gonna buy some sneakers, let's not blame white folks. So we have to stop and say, let me think about the working mind that's making this message, because if he says something and I say something, he say something, one of these brothers say something, it's all the same thing in words, we may have a different rationale. What I'm telling you is this: the same thing that's going on right now is what's been going on for years. The blame game. The blame game. So now I said this: we've been blaming white people for the last, what, 30 years extended? And look, the situation is still fucked up. So maybe we should change the direction of the blame. Now look, when we hold ourselves accountable for this situation, let's just say on a man level, let's move the women out real quick. No offense to the women out there before they start that shit. So, you know what I'm saying? No offense. No offense. I don't mean to be undermining. But let's just say we as men had so much pride and integrity about us being men that we say, man, I'm not about to let my children or my whiz hear me saying that the reason why I'm incapacitated or stagnated right now is because this white man is on my neck. You know what? We're gonna boss up. I'm not going to teach my daughter that the reason why I couldn't make things happen in this world in this lifetime is because someone that's genetically inferior in contrast to me got something over me. The blame game. The blame game.
First thing I want you to do is give me that black power. Say it like you mean it. And anytime you hear me tell the truth about this weak and wicked white man, I want to hear black power. Have you ever walked outside and was on the same block as a white man or a white woman? It was just you and them, and you felt as though there's this thought that you might do them some harm, or that you might rob them, or you might steal from them. Have you ever felt uncomfortable when by yourself in the presence of a white person? Have you ever felt that they were thinking that you might do something to them?
The blame game. To me, the white spirit threatening to murder me because I'm telling you that the white man's not the devil.
People that now, Tupac had said some years ago, he used to believe it was racism, but when he got money where he went, they let him in. So I never, if you really watch Tupac, it's the same thing. All these guys do the same thing. Rick Ross, all these folks, they go into this other state and they sell themselves out, and then they look at you and they all say the same thing. Oh, I got 13,000 on the neck, 40 bands around it, you know, on my wrist, and they try to make the house. They try to make the field Negroes, which are us, feel like we are nothing because they done trick themselves to make believe that the house nigga is the real nigga that made it. No, you still the house nigga who done tricked himself and the field niggas into believing you the one that want to escape. He don't want to escape the plantation. He wanted to go to the house and sit with the master, and that's what he's done. But in the midst of that, he forgot certain rules that we know better not to cross those lines. So he's trying to make us feel guilty. He basically what he want us to do is stop talking about the wrong he doing. When nobody's picking Polight out the hat like he was working and making his money in Hollywood, and he wasn't doing all this foolishness. Right. Like, go ahead.
No, you're right. He's making it seem like, oh, we just decided to pick on Polight.
Right.
Nothing he did. It ain't about nothing he been doing. Nothing about all the complaints people have about getting scammed. Nothing about the report that he's been charged with sexually assaulting a 14-year-old. Nothing about any of the things we heard. No, it's just because we saw him with his car and was like, man, I'm jealous of him. Man, I'm tired of him having these nice things. He's great.
Right. It's self-delusion. It's nothing else, but he's just trying to make us believe that because we the ones who truly see what he is. And he's upset that he did all of this stuff and self-destruct, and now he's going down, and he wants us to go away so he can fool everybody, but he ain't. He's exposed. And it's good. This the last thing. This happened last time when he got caught up. All of us came together and we did the same thing that we've been doing, and we pointing out the wrongs. That's all I hear is him crying and trying to pass the buck and taking no accountability.
I feel you, brother. I agree with you 100%, man. That's why I asked you, man, because so let's hear some more. I mean, it doesn't get any better. It's more of the same, but there was one last little interesting thing. You know, maybe you hear something.
Okay.
The world to know that you was angry with someone. I reserve the right, and I'm not saying this right, to raise your voice and get real angry with your woman. But I'm not going to do it with men and women. I reserve the right that if I get upset and I get out of character, it's going to be with my woman because I love her. I don't love these guys, so they can't get me riled up like that because I don't have an intimate connection with them. And this is what I'm saying. This is some violent homosexual behavior. We gotta talk about it. Black man has been effeminized.
It's delusion. So we're effeminized. We're talking about him like you would talk to your woman. He can't do that, but that's what we doing.
And
You couldn't.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that makes no sense because his teacher, his God, York, was teaching his followers that they were created from hermaphrodite, homosexual, gay aliens.
All right, treatment to common peace in war times. All right, this is a Facebook I'm in, and I've been in there since like about 2014. I think it's Noon Science versus Wu Sabat. This is a debate group that we had with Nawabians, and this is a post that you can see that I did October the 31st, 2017, and it's called "Gay Aliens Made Nawapians." LOL. And this is the book that is in. It's the book that they put out called "Revelation of the Nawapians: Path to Rock the Way." All right, so let's click on this. Alright, so we'll make this a little bit bigger. It's a little section. Now look what it says. However, being the Sabatu were pure XX and the Sahu were pure YX, their first offsprings came out XYX and YXY. The neuter gender dual souls of hermaphrodites, right? Hermaphrodite is a female.
It's 3 o'clock.
With both organs, but the female has more female features than the man, right? Then you have the opposite of that called hermaphrodites, where it's the male has both genitalia, but you have more masculine features than female. Okay, they believe and taught by York from jail, right, that you had pure hermaphrodites and pure male hermaphrodites, and they were the root race of humanity, especially black people. Look, and then so who at first could not give birth or reproduce, they can't do that to this day. The Sabatu and the Sahu had to mix their own DNA in order to give birth, who became homosexuals, which later became as known as what? Homosexuals, and all the in between. So the neuter generations populated the earth for many generations, creating a variety of beings, yet of the first root race, Nagaru, Negroids, or black people. So this is what they teach. They teach that hermaphrodites and hermaphrodites, which are basically homosexuals, right, are the reason that they're here. So this is what they teach. This is just one of the many teachings that they have. Like I told people on different platforms before, they believe that in order for them to get out of Earth and escape, they got to have 4 hermaphrodites, 2 hermaphrodites, and 2 hermaphrodites with a child in the middle, where they have sex while the child in the middle of them is supposed to be this golden child, and they're supposed to open up a portal and they can escape Earth. But this is just some of the stuff that we tried to tell that idiot Frank, but he don't vet nothing, he don't listen to nothing, and he had more than just people that worship a pedophile in jail for 135 years, but the teachings he taught, all of this type of stuff, which would lead you to understand if the leader is teaching this, then the leader is participating in it. Okay? Let's continue with V. Bennett and Jessica.
So I don't understand how he's trying to say this like it's a bad thing. According to his teacher, homosexuals is the original beings on that came to Earth, and they had sex and created the human race, and hermaphrodites can't reproduce. But this is the foolishness that's what I hear. That's why this dude is the worst. But go ahead.
Yeah, he grabbing at anything.
Right.
Amongst the anger he may have for his lover versus the anger he may have for his op, and that's a problem. The amount of energy that a black man is giving to another black man when he's angry is reminiscent to that of a black man that's upset with his woman. And henceforth, that black man is acting like a woman. And if there's 2 things I don't like on planet Earth, 2 things that I hate, the only 2 things I hate on the planet Earth is a black man that wants to be a white man, and the only thing worse than a black man that wants to be a white man is a black man that wants to be a white woman. And that's the only thing I hate more than the former. And I'll say it again. There's only 2 things I hate on planet Earth. I hate a black man that wants to be a white man. But the only thing worse than a black man that wants to be a white man is a black man that wants to be a white woman. And that's where we at today. Here you go blaming it on the white man. What the fuck did I blame on the white man? There's nothing wrong with a white man wanting to be a white man. See, let's see who said that stupidness. I'm telling you, I really start, them vaccines, something is making our people slow as shit. I'm the one that dropped out of school in 9th grade. I don't know why people are so slow. Yeah, it's crazy. Damn, I can't find his Negro name. Can't find him.
Yeah, the ball, what?
He wants to be the white one. That's what he done. He went to California. He was hanging out with Becky and setting up fake questionnaires with Polight, asking white women this, being put in headlocks with white people, and talking about he get money with white people, and those are the people he called when he get in trouble. He ain't gonna call no niggas. He sounded like that's what he would. These is all the things he was saying. He sounded like Uncle Ruckus. That was him. I hate niggas. I can't stand you niggas. That was him.
Yep.
You want to be white.
That was him.
That was ours, but that's what a narcissist does. They create this mirror, and they stand in the back of the mirror and talk behind it, and then want you to believe that's your reflection. That's not my reflection, nigga. That's you. You did all of that. You harm black women. You harm teenagers. Children. You stole money, thousands of dollars, and fake paperwork. Nobody held you accountable.
Oh, by the way, you know what, Tar? By the way, Angelica that was just up here, is she still here? Yeah. One of her homies tapped like what, 60,000, I believe she said the other day. She showed some receipts up here to this dude, man. That's what she said about some clothing company or something, if I remember correctly. Not to speak for, if I'm getting it wrong, and Angelica, just let me know. But yeah, this fool, you're right. Go ahead. Sorry, brother. Go ahead.
I mean, he's just trying to. He haven't accepted his fate yet. That's the thing. The reality ain't kicked in. It's like when it's like one of your peoples die, and it don't hit you to the funeral. Some people don't hit them till they put them in the ground. You know what I'm saying? And throw the dirt. He's so far removed from what he's done and how he messed his life up. Now he's still pointing the blame. Nobody's to blame except his nasty spirit, his nature, his lust for greed, and not knowing when to stop got him there. He can't blame no one else but himself.
He had plenty of chances.
He had everybody remember the lawyer how I say your name? Her name Shakia, the black lawyer. Man, I'm saying her name wrong. I think it's Akeisha. That's what it is.
Shabazz.
Right. She had a couple of people that she got Polight and to pay some people back. Sarnetta she had in the mix because she told Sarnetta, don't have that man back over there. I've seen all these receipts and transactions, and bro, your name is coming up and you involved, because Sarnetta was involved with some of that money as well. And she warned Sarnetta, and he kept Polight off there for a while and then brought him back.
And I'm an advocate for our people, more importantly than that. And I try to align myself with other people who I believe are advocates for our people. And that's how I came to meet Brother Polight. Here's the problem. Shortly after meeting him, I started getting messages from a number of people. The people's attorney, yes, I like to think that of myself. I started getting messages from people about having sent Brother Polight money, or having sent requested books or things like that, and they hadn't either received the money, or he hadn't been able to be reached after they sent him money, or they hadn't received the items or whatnot that they had purchased. And I had a relationship with Polight. I like to think that I still do. And so there's one brother in particular, and I'm gonna have him come on the show. I'm gonna bring him in. It's not gonna be today because I gotta run to school, but I'm gonna have him come on to the show, and we're gonna show you the receipts. This young man, early 20s, had received some money through an inheritance and believed in the snake oil bullshit that Brother Polight has been selling. He sent this young man with a child on the way, sent Brother Polight $70,000. I said $70,000. $70,000. I gotta say that shit a couple more times, because I ain't gonna front. I don't got $70,000 just laying around to just send motherfuckers on the whim or on the hopes that you are going to do what you say you're gonna do. So I reached out on behalf of this young man because he was distraught. He had been attempting to reach Polight after sending this $70,000 via wire to Polight's wife Aminette's account. I got the motherfucking receipts, okay? Sent this money via wire transfer. No contract, and this is a young brother. He wasn't the smartest move. Obviously, if he had had an attorney, or he had had someone who could guide him, would have instructed him, listen, don't send this money without a contract, whatever. But he trusted this brother, like many of us do, right? Like many of you do, and still do, and are still sending him money so he could rent all them fancy fucking cars. You don't own that shit. This nigga don't got no money. I'm sorry. I got the receipts. Anyway, I reached out on behalf of this young man, and on behalf of us as a people, and on behalf of Polight, to try to resolve this, because I really wanted to support the brother and what he was trying to do in terms of bringing information to the people. You know, that's what I am. I'm an informationalist. So I reached out, and you know, Polight acknowledged that he had received $70,000 from this young man. The pretense was bullshit. I knew it. He knew it. And I told him, under no uncertain circumstances, that you have to pay this money back. You have to give this man his money back. You just have to. And he agreed to. He agreed. He knew that the shit he did was wrong. And he agreed to give the money back. So we drew up an agreement. We even drew up a non-disclosure agreement so that, you know, they would deal with this in secrecy. It's been violated now because Polight breached agreement, so the non-disclosure is null and void, which is why I'm on here trying to save other people from this very same type of viciousness. So this young man entered an agreement for repayment with Brother Polight, and Polight made the first 2 or 3 payments. And then after that, it was every other month. And then it was just a part of the payment. And then it was no payment at all. And then it was, well, I haven't gotten paid. And, oh, well, I'm waiting for a check. And then it was, well, the check didn't clear. And it's always fucking something. It's always something. This from someone who is constantly on social media pretending that his money is so very, very long. But you can't pay this young man back. You can't send him his money back. You shopping somewhere, and I'm gonna speak to you as a black woman. You're gonna go to prison. You're gonna go to prison because it's wire fraud. To take money under false pretenses and promise someone something you know you can't deliver, you know you're not an expert in, you know that you don't have any skills to do. Take that money and run, literally, is a crime. That's a fucking crime. And because you did it through the wire, you did it through the banking system, it's a federal crime. And I'm doing this video because I want the feds to shut you the fuck down. I'm tired. I'm tired of my fucking inbox being littered with our people talking about they've been robbed and or scammed by Brother Polight. I've held off on doing this video for almost a year to try to get him to get right. Do right by our people. Do right by them. Pay them back. Whoever's got an order outstanding, fill that shit. If you got books, send them. If you don't have it, refund their money. Fell on deaf ears. Aminette act like she don't know that she's a part of this. Honey, sister, queen, God. That bank account is in your name. The bank account is in your name. See, your husband is so smart that he don't even got his name on shit. So when the fucking feds come, they coming to get you first. Okay?
So because Zarnetta is a street hustler, a scammer, a schemer, and a thief. That's what a scam is. It's the thief. That's just more of a modern word. We need to call it what they are, thieves. And he is right there with them and guilty as sin, and still got all those dummies over there with him. Jabari, all of them are clowns. All of them are clowns. They are so, and they don't give a damn. We need to just accept that as well. That everybody who's been over there after that,
they like the black exploitation films.
Yeah,
they just characters, look fools. You know, like yeah. Did you see that video I did the other day about doing the comparison to them jokers to the black exploitation characters?
No, I missed that one. I'm still trying to catch up on the other stuff you did. That's why I've been listening. That's why I'm here now. I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get to it.
Yeah, I want to get your opinion on that one because you know what they said those films were doing. You know, the effects of those films. You know, slipping in. You know, on one hand, it made us feel powerful because we could see ourselves in it. But on the other hand, what are they slipping in? Sex, drugs, pimping, hoeing, all this other negative stuff. You know, you know, and it's really interesting because it looked like that's exactly what these dudes doing.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they just instead of saying jive turkey is nice, they exchange that with you pseudo.
Shalom.
Yeah, shalom.
Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hold up, my king. That's no different than somebody in the 70s saying that as a joke, because that's what it is. It's a joke, and it's not, and it's sad, but it's a reality. And you know, Reverend Ike is the prototype of prosperity preaching, and that's what Polight and Dr. York and all them people, you know, Sweet Daddy Grace them used to do it when there was no camera footage like that. So Reverend Ike was the first person that was getting paid, according to the stuff I've been seeing on the internet, that he was the one that started the prosperity preaching first. And he was saying he got paid $10,000 an engagement to talk about getting paid in the church. But he taught the Bible in a way where he was trying to kind of like wake the church up a little bit, but not enough to get away from the church. He would be like, you know, you shouldn't worship a God outside yourself. You should worship the God in you. You know, you a God. He said all this stuff back in the 70s, but they still stayed within the religion, and he still made money. And so all of that stuff is the same thing what they doing now. These dudes, instead of standing on the street corner and all that on a soapbox back in the 30s and the 40s, they doing it from the internet. And these guys haven't built the damn thing. And that's why I made a video called "What Are the Black Power Rules for the House of Consciousness?" And when you look up Black Power, which it's a term that came from the Black Panthers, and when you look at the tenets of what the Black Panthers tried to have set up, Sarnett and them don't have that. And one of the things that you have to build, you know, stuff to them with food, shelter, and clothing, you know, reading, bookstores. Them niggas ain't got none of that.
Any of it.
Y'all don't have none of the 10-point program that the Black Panthers have.
That's the program. Cash App me.
That's it. What's your cash app? Hit me up. These niggas are beggars, and they are low-level preachers and deacons and imams, all wrapped into one. These niggas put on put on so many different hats. You think you watching and living color. It's the next time for the next scene. Today, this nigga's a Hebrew. The next day, he Kemet. Next day, he's a baseball fan for the New York Knicks. The next day, he Don King finna start a boxing match in debate. Yeah, this is what people done degraded down to, and so they don't see the foolery we see, and so they keep going around not learning that. All what Sarnetta did was like Dr. York, that they brought all that different types of information in the spot, and then it lost the wall. It had fake walls set up. It's like you go to a school or a college, and they be like, okay, this is the science lab, this is the library, this is this, and they all supposed to be separated by walls, but reality is not. So when you go into the building, you over here in the science joint, but then you also in this class, it's a mixture. You don't have the same teachers. It's like you got a bunch of substitute teachers coming into Sarnetta's so-called school, and they not teaching the same thing that the substitute teacher before them had. And then you have the creepy substitute teacher come in that got sex charges, and you don't know that, and he over there messing with the kids, and oh, you can go outside and you can do whatever. That's what he created over there.
Yeah, under his leadership.
There you go.
All right, let's hear some more. Thank you for that, brother. Let's hear some.
That's how they do. Like I said, you have fools that will take their time out, go out their way to spew negativity. Just think about it. What was they doing their whole day? Just waiting for Brother Polight to go live so they can say something negative. They don't have nothing going on. And what do I do during the day?
I was waiting for the next tip, yo. I could have been that, but it's not. But I mean, hey, he's the story, man. What does he talk about? He had people waiting 2 years now.
There you go.
When I do make the time to get on live, it's always uplift and give perspectives.
Yeah, but why you going to jail if that's all you do is positive?
I'm leaving the chat as is. Just
exactly. He talk. This is so. Man, this is a guy that's almost begging, saying, "Help me." I mean, if you flip it all around, it's like it sounds like that in a way, like "Help me," because he keeps saying, "Oh, the good things I've done for the community." That's what a person, that would say, if you did all these good things for the community, right, then you would expect some help after, right?
Right.
The problem, the next logical thing would be, I need some help, or hey, how can I help you, brother? I see you having a hard time. But what has he done?
He done everything that put him in a predicament, and he wants us to leave him alone. See, that what he's telling you spiritually. What he's saying is, just like York and the rest of them, because I provided the service of teaching, whether it was partly true, half true, pseudo, or whatever, and gave y'all a good time and all of that, my flaw is my payment. Me molesting those children is a payoff. I'm supposed to do that. Y'all don't supposed to judge me for my flaw. I'm supposed to take money from y'all to what I thought I deserve. I don't think I deserve, $300 or $1,000 every time I taught. I think I deserve $20,000 when I taught, and so I paid myself, and that's what he did to Sarnetta. He robbed Sarnetta, at least we know, on 2 different occasions for multiple thousands of dollars. In his mind, he felt that he deserved that. Mm-hmm. And so, and then when Sarnetta got upset, he felt like he deserved some of that money they both was swindling the people from anyway. That's why Sarnetta was talking so hard, and he felt that he had a right to disclose some of Polite's foolishness to force his hand to give him some money, because they supposed to be a double heist together. Not we both robbed and you take off with the bread, and I can't say nothing because I know we both stole, and that's what that was. So I sat on it for months and months. Like I told her, he slapped Saw in the face when he went to the Breakfast Club and didn't mention Sarnetta or the House of Conscience. Then he went to Vlad, didn't mention it. Went to Jesse Lee Peterson, didn't mention him. Wherever else he went, he didn't mention that, and Sarnetta brought that up. So that was, again, to me, that was intentional, because he's trying to destroy Sarnetta and what he's done because of what he did to Dr. York and some of his followers. That was a personal thing, I'm telling you. That's what he was doing, and that's why it's all going to go down when Polite goes. And if they run this course the way we think it will, and they start calling people up there, Amanette got to go to jail because she was the one that got caught up when the PayPal thing got in trouble. Amanette's name was on that PayPal. She was stuck. She was signing stuff. That Negro ain't put his name on nothing when it came to that. She took a lot of the L's, and Crypto Roots, rest in peace. I'm going to keep saying that.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, because we're going to get justice for Crypto for sure.
Yeah,
right?
Long time too.
Right, and we listened to his story. He told you the story, like the sister was saying. That brother did so. Actually, he laid it all out, man. Yeah,
and that's something a lot of people hide it or don't want to put it out there. He put it all out there, and you imagine how hurtful that had to be for him. How much of a mind fuck that was.
Mm-hmm.
But then he was strong enough somehow to have the foresight to say, you know what, even though I made these mistakes, I can help make sure nobody else does. And he put it all out there for the public, man. Polite going to get all them people that was connected to that, they're going to get what they deserve, because he hurt a good dude, just a regular dude, man.
$100,000 he got that man for.
That's so sad.
$100K. Made him his butler, made him drive the car around while his girls was arguing and hitting them up for cash app back. Oh, that's all they got to do. The feds, all they got to do is look at all that stuff, the money, who was going, who the cash apps being sent to.
To get the no peace.